Want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you so much for all of the continued support. All right, so it is the first of the month, and that means, as always, it's time to talk about my February to be read list, commonly referred to as the February TBR. But before we talk about the books, let's talk about the January TBR contest. So each month I run this contest where you're going to predict how I score all the books that I read in the upcoming month. Top 3 spots win, and the winners are highlighted in my TBR video. And if you win twice, you get to pick a book for me to read and review in the upcoming month. So last month we had 321 contestants, which is over 50 more people than the previous highest number of participants. And I'll really hope that you join this month. Click the link down in the description to officially submit your picks, and join the Discord, with links also below in the description, to follow along with updates after each book. So the TBR winner with the gold medal was B-Max, who got 7 out of 10 correct and only missed 4 total points. And by total points, I mean, like, if he guessed a 5 and it was really 4, that's 1 missed point. If he guessed 5 and it was 3, that's 2 missed points. Missed points is the first tiebreaker. The silver medal went to Hunter Hilly, who also got 7 out of 10 correct. He also missed 4 total points, but he was further off on the final tiebreaker question, which is what you think the average score I will think about all of the books combined. And the bronze went to Alejandro Martin, who got 6 out of 10 correct with 4 missed points. 2 others got 6 out of 10 correct with 4 missed points, but they had a lower tiebreaker score. So the book that most people got right was my 5-star rating of The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie, with 162 people getting that right, which is about 50%. And the book that most people got wrong was my 1-star rating of Conan the Barbarian. Only 15 people got that right, which is about 4%. The worst score for the month, as always it is, was 0 out of 10, and that was scored by 3 people. The average score for everybody was 3.14 correct. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading this month. The first is The Cuckoo. This is part of the Under the Northern Sky series by Leo Carew. I'm doing this in book format. I'm going to be finishing this up around the 2nd of the month. I'll probably leave this contest open until the 3rd, which means this video for my review of The Cuckoo will probably come out on the 4th. It's 704 pages. Now, I'm already over halfway done, but I'm going to tell you the score. I wrote down my prediction before I started, and that's what I'm going to tell you the score of, not my modified opinions on it. But my prediction was 5. And my prediction's 5 for a few reasons. One, I still can't stop thinking about how good that first book was. The second book I felt like was a decent step down, but that's because I got kind of lost with the side plot that happened, which is not existent now. Once it got past that, which is about the halfway point, the book was just as good as the first one. And now that we're moving forward, I kind of feel like I see where the plot's going, and I like all those characters. I like the settings. I like the basic plot lines I think that we're going to be hitting upon, and I'm really excited about it. And I've also heard from a lot of people that this last book is really, really good. So super looking forward to reading The Cuckoo, and it's been on my list for so long. I've had so many people, and maybe it's the same person asking me over and over again on my videos, but like, when are you finally going to review this? And every time it gets pumped back, they're like, when is it going to be? Finally, it will be the first one done this month. Next up is The White Tower. This is part of the Alderaan Chronicles. This book was picked by Dino, who is the TBR winner from the last month. He won twice. This is by Michael Weishart, and I'll be reading this in book format. Should finish this up around February 8th. It's only 640 pages, and I'm guessing 4 stars. Why 4 stars? Because that's my average score thereabouts, and I know nothing, literally nothing about this book. When Dino mentioned it, that he wanted me to read it, I was like, cool. I've literally never heard of the book, the series, the author, nothing. And I'd like to keep it that way. So we'll see. And yeah, it's my hedging the bet score. Then is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This is an audiobook. Should finish this up on February 9th, or probably before that. Maybe like the 7th. This should be about 976 pages. That's how many pages it is. And again, I'm already halfway through this book, and my thoughts that I recorded before this was 5 out of 5. And 5 out of 5 because this is a historical fiction, and I typically really like those. And I mostly like them, I think, because I'm reading like the top hits. And kind of like I was when I started reading fantasy again, where I was going through all the top hits, and I got 5 stars after 5 stars. Because they were 5-star worthy books. And I kind of feel like that with this one. Everybody talks about it. I feel like it's one of the more popular books in this genre that's currently out. I know it was written quite a while ago. I mean, not a ton long, maybe like 20 years, 15 years. But I'm super, super excited about it. Everything about it just screams that it's a book that I'll like. I love medieval England time period. I'm a huge history buff. This sounds right up my alley. And apparently it's about, not apparently, because I already know what it's about, but in general, it's about this, a church being built. And that's as simply as I could put it. And that sounds boring, but there's a lot of things going on. And it's really a tale about medieval England with that happens to feature a church being built. Next up is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is by Douglas Adams. I'm doing this in audiobook. Should finish this up around February 11th. It's only 224 pages. That's tiny. One of the smallest books that I've read since I started this booktube channel. And I'm guessing 5 stars. I've never read this. I've read parts of it when I was younger. Maybe I read the whole thing, but I certainly don't remember it. It just seems like something that I'll like. Now, there's a lot of like classic books in the fantasy sci-fi genre that I end up not liking. I just feel like this isn't going to be one. I like to laugh. I love to have a good time. This seems like it's that. I mean, in the few things, I went back and read like a few pages of it a while back for something. I don't remember what it was for, but I remember really cracking up just in the first few pages. And if it can kind of continue that seems like a really, really fun book. And I'm doing this with the Stephen Fry narration. I've heard that one's the best. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's the one available at my library, so that's what I'm sticking with. Then is The Trials of Empire. This is part of the Empire of the Wolf series. This should come out on February 6th. I think this is the last one in the trilogy. This is by Richard Swan. I'm doing this in book format and should finish this up on February 14th. It is 541 pages, and I'm guessing 5 stars. And this seems like an easy 5-star prediction for me because I gave the first 2 5 stars, and I am in love with them. And I can't imagine this one's going to be anything less than amazing. The end of a trilogy and the early reviews. I haven't read like full reviews, but I've heard from people that have got their hands on an e-arc, which somehow I was not able to get. But it's just how it works sometimes. But they said it's awesome and the best of the bunch. And I don't need it to be the best of the bunch for me to have like really, really positive thoughts about the series as a whole. But I do need it to be good. And I know that it's going to be that. And I can see where the plot's going. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I can't wait for us to get to that epic moment that I feel like we've been building for quite a long time now. Then is Red Country. This is in the First Law universe. This is by Joe Abercrombie. I'm doing this in audiobook because that's the only way to do these books, because Stephen Pacey is the god of audiobook narration. Should finish this up around February 18th. It's 480 pages, and I'm guessing 5 stars. Now, the first time I read it, I think I gave it a 4.5, maybe a 4. I'm doing a reread of all the First Law books in order, and in general, all of them I have liked more the second time I read them, except for The Last Argument of Kings, the final book in the initial trilogy. And not because I didn't like The Last Argument of Kings, but the first time I read it, I liked it so much, and I felt like it separated itself from the other ones so much that it didn't feel that separated. It felt like kind of just as good as the other ones, which are awesome. But all the other ones, including the standalones, the Best Served Cold and the Heroes, I've liked significantly better than the first time I read them. And I'm really hoping that this is the case. And the second time I'm reading this, I'm so in love for some reason with the character Casca, Nicoma Casca. And I know he features very heavily in this one. And I can't wait to meet that guy again and go through his swashbuckling and adventure along with him and the other awesome characters that are in this book. Then I will be reading The Player of Games. This is the second book in the Culture series. This is chosen for me by the Patreon raffle. So on my Patreon account or page or whatever you call it, if you sign up, you get to put a book or two, depending on the level that you sign up, into a raffle. And at the end of the month, I spin a wheel, and whatever it lands on, I have to read. And this is one. So this is by Ian Banks. I think it's Ian or Leon. I'm doing this in book format. Should finish this up also on February 18th. It's 416 pages, and I'm guessing 4 stars. I don't know anything about this. The cover made me feel like it has to do with literally playing like board games or something in a fantasy setting. Who knows? When I released on a YouTube short the raffle spin itself, there were the few comments that came in were people saying that this is a really good book and more people need to read it. So yeah, we'll see. Now, why am I reading the second one first? I wanted to know the same thing because I was a little thrown off when I went to Goodreads to add it to my account. And people said when I looked it up, they said, like, yeah, it's probably better to start with the second one first. I don't know why. We'll find out, but I hope they're right. Then next up after that is Homeland. This is the first book in the Legend of 𝐓𝐿𝐻𝐿. Drizzt. Somebody tell me how to say that so I don't get it wrong the next time I do that name. This was the book that was selected on the Patreon vote. So also on Patreon, I'll always put up like 5 books that I kind of want to read. And then whatever the highest one voted, I do end up reading. And this one won. This is by 𝑟𝐴𝐓𝐿𝐻. I'm doing this in book format. Should finish this up around February 21st. It's only 384 pages, and I'm guessing 3 stars. It feels like I'm not going to like this one. I want to read it because I know it's very, very, very popular and like formative to the genre, especially kind of the Dungeons and Dragons-y type of books that I happen to like. But I have this problem oftentimes with a lot of older works. Sometimes I love them. Like I go read The Black Company. It's just perfectly made for me. I like Dune. I like some older stuff, not a ton of it. Rift War. Hopefully this is in that bunch, but I feel like this is going to be a little sophomoric based on the very little that I know about it and the main character. But, we'll see. 3 stars for me. Then the final book I will be reading is Voice of War. This is part of the Threadlight series by Zach Argyle, and I'm doing this in audiobook. Should finish this up around February 24th. It is 376 pages, and I'm guessing 4 stars. This is going to be the buddy read book. So on my Discord, every month we pick one book to do as a group, and we read about 50 pages a day, and we talk about the chapters assigned for that day, and it's really, really fun, and it will almost always increase your enjoyability in this because you get to talk about it, and that's fun. Especially, I find that a lot of people, me included, don't really have anybody in their real life they can talk about the books as they're reading them with. Especially older books. I mean, this isn't old, but like it came out a couple years ago. So like nobody's actively like talking about this right now. So to be able to do that, it's really fun. It's like a book club. So come join if you'd like to read this along. We are starting it up around the middle of the month, maybe like the 18th. I don't remember exactly. Come join the Discord for more information, and also in the Discord, and I'll be promoting this a little bit on my socials, but I'll let you know now. But the author is very kindly offered to provide a signed omnibus copy of the trilogy to whoever wins a giveaway contest, and also an omnibus version of the audiobooks. So that is awesome. And that contest will only be in the Discord. That's the only place you can sign up. So go hang out there, look for the links. They'll be available sometime in the next couple days. And also, the author is going to come pop into the Discord after we're done with the book so we can chat with the author about any questions we had about it. So that should be a lot of fun, and I hope you can come. So that is it. Before you leave, or after you leave, hit the link down below, join that contest. Let's see if you can win. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'm very happy reading to you. Thanks again to all my patrons, with a special shout out to my Ascendant tier and Librarian tier patrons: Anna G, CJ, Doust, Darren, Gregory, Jonathan, Nathan T, Nev's Book Channel, 𝗓𝗏𝐻𝐿, Ron Reich, Russell, Ryan L, Sydney Baker, 𝗓𝐶, Tahir, Anna, Andra, Blair, Brock, Evan, Fanixan, Harry B, Joe, Cat Mick, Michael Sugarman, Philippe, Sky, 𝗓𝗏𝗄57, 𝗓𝐞y, and Zion. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video, and if you want to watch some more content from my channel, click over here and I've got some good videos for you. Thanks so much.